Okay, John's up. He says, are you guys offering VA connections? Ooh. John, in the mastermind, possibly. Adam, you want to chat about that?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we brought that up, and we were definitely looking. We hooked up a couple people who were interested, and I guess now's a good time to see if anybody listening. You've heard us talk about VAs. Most of the people who subscribe and listen to Semantic Mastery understand that that's a great way to offload a lot of your work so you can grow and scale. And that we can answer questions about how to use VAs effectively, how to manage them, and how to make sure you get the good ones. And we also, of course, offer training on how to do that at kind of a more advanced level. But we realized that some people going through that process of finding those good VAs and connecting with them is a problem, and it can take a lot of time. And since we do it at scale, we talked to some mastermind members about that. They took us up on the offer. And so I'm just curious if anyone is watching or you're checking this out on the replay, let us know, because if there's enough people out there who think this is a valuable service, we'll be willing to set this up where, we'll even crank up our volume a little bit, do the hard work for you on the back end, and then do something like connect you with 2 VAs you can interview and either take both or take the best one, for some set fee. And that probably, I've got this written down somewhere just from my own time, but that would save you at least several hours of work, and depending on what tools you use, potentially a couple $100.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been doing mastermind calls for the last 2 weeks now. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I do 2 half-an-hour calls per day with just, mastermind members that have scheduled with me. And one of the almost unanimously, I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but almost unanimously, everybody I've spoke to said that, that one of the things they need to do more of is outsource. And many people have avoided it because they have either been burned by hiring, shitty outsourcers in the past, or they just don't want to put all the time and effort into setting up hiring funnels and going through that whole process of screening applicants and everything else, which is what we teach in Outsource Kingpin. It's the exact same method that we use, guys. We've put the time in to do all that, though, and I understand why people don't want to do it. My only point to that is, if you do stuff in your business over and over and over again all the time that takes time, like client reports, whatever, repetitive tasks in your business that you do over and over and over again, but you don't want to put the work into hiring the outsourcer, it doesn't make sense to me, because you have to repeat that process again over and over again every single time. Again, like I'm just going to use client reports as an example. And guys, I outsourced stuff for years, and I still did my own client reports until January of 2018. So a year ago is when I finally outsourced my client reports. And what I'm saying is, the reason why is because in order to generate the client reports the way that I had always done it, I knew it was going to take me 2 or 3 days of literally 2 to 3 days of recording the processes for how to do it, because I've got different types of reports that go to different clients. And that may be my own fault. I probably should have made everything universal or templatized or whatever, but it is what it is. And so I had to spend a couple days, and I never wanted to do it, right? It took me a day to do client reports every month. It would take me a full day to do client reports every single month. And sometimes, depending on if I was distracted throughout that process, it would take me a day and a half, right? Because other things would come up or whatever. And so a day to a day and a half every single month. And I hated it, but I never wanted to take 2 to 3 days to complete all the process training to train somebody else to do it. Well, finally I got smart, and I finally did that. And last year in January, I outsourced that. And, yeah, it was painful because it took me almost 3 days to complete all the processes. But now I get every single month, I get an entire day back. Well, let me rephrase that. Now I have a VA that generates all the reports, consolidates all of them into one sheet, a text file, and then she sends it to me. And then I have all the reports and everything available to me right there on the notepad file, and I can just copy and paste into an email to my clients. And then I always inject my commentary. Sometimes it's via video email where I'm going over the reports, and I talk about where progress was made, where I found new opportunities, perhaps where some things went wrong, that kind of stuff. So I often send an email or a video email along with the reports, or I'll just send some text in, like, here's your local rank report, here's key takeaways, here's your citation report, key takeaways, analytics report, search console report, those kind of things. And then, so again, something like that, guys, it takes forever to create a process to do it. And I understand why people avoid it. I've done that kind of stuff. Like, oh, I don't feel like doing a process. It would just be quicker for me to do it, right? Just be quicker if I did it. But the problem is that time comes around again a month later or a week later, or 2 weeks, whatever it is. It comes around again, and then you're back in the same boat again. You have to do it again. And I could develop the process, or I could just get it done now, and it'd be much faster if I just do it myself. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's why, again, the mastermind calls, almost unanimously, everybody that I've talked to have said, I know I need to do more outsourcing, but I just don't have the time, or I don't want to put in the work and blah, blah, blah. So we realized that there was an opportunity there for a VA matching service. In other words, we do all the application screening and all that kind of stuff, put them through a series of tests to make sure that they can follow instructions and all that kind of stuff. And then finally, the ones that end all the way through our funnel system, those are good candidates that are ready to be interviewed. And so that's something that, again, speaking with the mastermind members that I've been speaking with on the phone over the last week and a half now, or almost 2 weeks, is, like I've said, I've told them about that, and I think there's a real opportunity for VA matching service just within our own mastermind, but potentially externally too for other members, our other audience members. So very cool. It's a great offer. Adam, I'm pretty sure that's something we'll end up proceeding with.